afternoon or good evening. It's 4:42 p.m. Today is Thursday, September 22nd, after FOMC day, right? So during FOMC, we know after FOMC that today we have to stick with shorts, right? So today focus on shorts, right? Below or backup, below or at backup or preferred sellers area, right? So I'm saying you basically defend preferred and backup sellers area either at those areas or below. Stick with shorts, right? So there is no long below that area unless you do intraday scalp, and if you are seeing something, otherwise you're better off sticking with shorts below those area or from at that area, you know, and take profit whenever it is possible rather than thinking about earth, right? So when we say price is going to moon, and if price goes down, then I would say price is going to earth, right? So do not think about earth, you know, like tanking. Just take a profit, you know, the next level. So today is a critical day for a price to hold below this preferred sellers area, you know, and then ideally you want to see sellers holding it below preferred buyers area in both, you know, and let buyers hold it above it consistently, right? So here I am twisting the statement. I am saying you want sellers to hold it below preferred buyers area, you know, not only below this but below preferred buyers area, you know, then you can have a good size move. Otherwise, if you see buyers holding it above it, something is off, you know, they are buying it basically, you know. So okay, as usual I got a phone call, right? So I had to pause it, but now I forgot the link. But okay, so that was the twist. Okay, now for NQ, that's overall general for both the indexes, right? For ES, now I'm giving you a specific area also, right? This area it has to hold below, okay, and then these areas will give us a trade today, you know. So these areas, right? So I think this area gave us a trade today of the open, you know. And then NQ, right? So these are the area below sellers, right? So ideally focus to short, and these are the areas will give us a trade, right? This is what the information for Russell, right? Dream number 620 600 as usual, very powerful numbers. So I think dream number today gave us a lot of trades, you know, back and forth, you know. So let's go into here, right? So this was the preferred sellers area. Price didn't even come there, right? The second area was this area, you know, that will give us a trade, right? That was the idea, and you can see it right of the open. Actually in pre-market voice I said 38.089 area to observe and 37.99, and NQ I said 681, you know, to observe, right? So right of the open, you know, and also during pre-market voice I talked about importance of 681 area, you know. You can see all this circle, right? So we know 681 is important, and so does this area, you know. And then also, you know, in pre-market, you know, around that 8:45 or 9 o'clock I also put a message in Discord stating that we also look for today, specifically today I said we should look for bearish disconnect or bullish disconnect, and then that will give us a clue also, or trade, either or, right? So now we don't look for every day those kind of thing, but depending on the specific day, you know, certain day we have to look for those things, right? So today was that day, you know. So right of the open you can see there was a bearish disconnect, right here, you know. So if you don't know what is bearish disconnect and bullish disconnect, go on the website into our terminology page and you will see it there, you know. So this was a trade because it was close to that 38.0809 area, right? And it was also, you know, close to this VWAP and this resistance area also now, right? Or preferred buyers area actually, right? So that was the whole idea. I want sellers to hold it below it, ideally not only this but also this, right? And price already tried it here one time, and then here also it tried it, but then it failed here right before open, right? Price closed below it, so and then it poked above it, right? So this, and then it coming down, this was your short right there in ES, right? Targeting this at least minimum, or this 55, you know. So ES you don't have a room today, you know. So either you short this with bearish disconnect or there is no trade, you know. There was no trade here all the way down, you know. On this move there was no trade. However, NQ has a couple of trades, you know. So NQ 681 was a trade, right? Then when it did get rejection from there coming down below this 660, there was a trade, right? And you can target dream number, you know, pretty much. So I bailed out earlier because, you know, I had to go. But so I don't even stick around a lot, you know. In September month is I am very careful. So I got few points out here, you know, and I was out. But 620 you can target, you know, and then you have to bail out either here or here, you know, depending on the price movement, right? Then price went down to the blue lines. So blue lines are very powerful, and not only this is a blue line, this is a thick blue line, you know. This is a regular blue line, this is a thick blue line. Thick blue lines are very powerful, you know. So it can hold the market. Yes, it can poke below and above, but it can see, you can see it. It basically held the market here. See that? There is a lot of it brought a lot of chop. See, despite down internals, right? So this thing, so despite down internals, this thing did not go down much, right? It still provided bounces. See that? So that's why even though if you are holding it, you should not be going against this blue line. You should be out. And because of internals liquidation kind, you should not be even going long here, you know, unless you zoom into the, let's say, micro time frame, you know, maybe tick chart or something, you know, and then if you see something, then you try long. But you know, I would suggest you stick with shorts, right? So dream number you can short, right? So once price goes below it, pull back up to the dream number, right? You know, dream number always provides some reaction, right? So this was a trade, and it was actually this low. See this low? That was also yesterday's late noon low, you know, 4:15 or 5 o'clock low. Original low was this, then 5 o'clock or something 4:30 low was this, right? So you can see that here. See, once it is broken out here, there was a balance, right? Broken out, and this was a retest, right? And at the same time, ES was also doing the balance, breakdown, retest, and VWAP also, right? So this was a short, and if you want to take it, you know, or you can ignore it. You can let it go because it was bounced from this below line, right? It can go higher too. So it's up to you in real time, you know, how you want to do it. But it was a trade, but it was not an ideal trade. So it's a different arrow, right? But then once price again came down and again tried to bounce it up, right? Here you can take a trade, another. But again, it's the same story as this, you know, because AD was rising. See that? So now price was balancing here like this, and AD was rising here. Even though it was a bearish AD, right? But still it was rising. That's not a good sign, you know. So you have to wait for a price to flush out. And when price went down below this area after breaking down, right? Now you have a choice either to go with the flow, which I wouldn't suggest, because now you are shorting at the tail end near the blue line, second blue line, right? And ES is also close by to this 66, right? So you don't want to short it, but however, you can wait for a pullback if it pulls back into this area, right? Which is a dream number. See, close to it, 600 was the area, right? So when it pulled back here, right, it didn't balance here and then out, right? It's just basically straight up. If you look at 5-minute chart, right, like this, see, this is 5 minute, it was straight up, right? So here when it went to straight up to this blue line dream number, right, here you can short because now it confirmed that it wants to go down, right, at least somewhere. So here you can take a trade, you know, around 11-12 o'clock, right? ES, however, you cannot take any trade, you know, because ES already bounced, came down here. Here you can take a profit. So ES, you can have a two profit location. One is here when NQ hit the first blue line, you can take a profit here, or when 620 dream number was hit first time, you can take a profit here with it, or you can trail stop it. That's another option I gave you, right? That if you don't take a profit, you can trail stop it and target this area, you know. So let's say if you're targeting this area, right, and then let's say it came down here, correct? You're still holding it, you know, and then it bounced, right? But then again it came down. At this time you should closely watch this thing. You do not want to see this bounce again like this. So when you see this and then again like this, you should be bailing out your final contracts here, and then no more trading in ES, right? Because ideally it should have gone down to this area, but bouncing again, this is not a good sign. That means something is off. You should not be doing any trading at that point, because price can bounce back up all the way up to here, then it may come down, it may not come down, right? And when you see this, then it's definitely chop is going on. So now you should be out, trading away. You should not be trading it, right? This move was and then here I also said, as long as NQ is below 600 and ES is below 98, sellers have a full control. Buyers do not have any rights. Unless it goes above 600, then buying will come. At the same time, you want to see ES also going above 98, then buying will come. Otherwise they can fail, right? So here it went finally. See, you can see that after my statement, you can see 600 held it, right? Finally it broke through it because of Secretary Yellen was talking, right? So because of her, this damn thing moved. Finally it went above 600. Now buying came in, right? But the ES was not above 98 at that point. So if you have to separate it apart, both of them, so if you want to trade NQ, you cannot go with the flow, because ES did not go above 98 at that time. It was here, right? So you rather play the pullback than going with the flow. So when it pulled back here, right, back to 600, here you can go try to go long, because ES was pulling back to this VWAP or so, right? And that was the area where it tried to hold it, right? So here you can go long, and then you can target higher up area, assuming ES will go through 98, right? So that's the idea, or when ES hit 98 first time, here you can even short back to this area. So up to you how you want to play it. I would rather play short here in ES than going long here. NQ, I rather go long here than playing short here, because short was random, right? When it went to this area, now you don't want to do anything, no short, no longs, because it was news driven move, so you don't want to mess around. Okay, so that's how it played out today. So now there is no inbox wave today also. I'm tired now, so I'm not going to do inbox wave today, and anyway price was choppy. It doesn't make sense to even open the inbox wave. So I'll see, hopefully if something I can do it tomorrow, and that be all for today.